My name's Clam of Joe. Are we live? Are we live? My name's Clam of Joe. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're live. We're live, I think. Are we live? Hello guys, my name's Clam of Joe. Right, my name's Clam of Joe, guys. Welcome to the stream. I've got 2 axes and a shovel, apparently. And a pig. My little piggy. So we're going to head over here then. Who's going to be the first viewer of the stream? Not many people are going to turn up because I haven't streamed since Saturday. Which I do apologise about. I have been busy. Pardon me. There we go. So, I want to build a little fun project. I want to build a little fun project today. I just want to see if this mic's working as well. Oh, 100%. You guys can hear me. Good. Good. I haven't got a notification. I haven't got a notification about whether it's told my live stream that I'm streaming at the moment. Hello, Red Muffin. Welcome to the stream. I apologise there's been no streams. I've been really busy. I've bought a new desk and it turned out it was too big, so I've had to try and... Do you remember me? Of course I remember you, Red Muffin. I don't forget you after I don't forget you after I haven't streamed for like, I don't know, 4 days, 3 days. I don't forget people. I'm not going to forget you because you were in my Discord server. I don't know if you're still in my Discord server. I don't know if you're still in it, but of course I don't remember. Of course I remember you. I'm not going to have forgot you. Hello to the people who just joined the stream. Why is there just a random... Why do I have a crown? It's, I don't know, top fan. It's this new feature. It's basically giving you top fans. So apparently you're our top fan because you're the only one commenting right now. It's... Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I found then. I found a zombie spawner. You guys gotta be thinking what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking we get rid of this. We close this away. Hello, Pixel King. Welcome to the stream. You guys, look what we just found down this ladder. I'm going to go get some hoppers. And we can make a farm. And we can make a zombie farm. We just got to remember our way back here. Hello, Sadie Olivier. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, sorry there's been no streams, guys. I have been very, very busy. I've been breaking my bed up today because I broke my bed 2 weeks ago and I've slept on a broken bed for 2 weeks. Is this the main world? Is this Survivor Legacy? Yes, it is. It is Survivor Legacy. It just happens to be that we haven't got any builds this way at all. We haven't got any builds this way at all, so it just happens to be that I was over here actually. I was over here and I just happened to have come across that ladder. So I'm thinking, let's go get some hoppers. Yeah, it just happens to be that there's nothing that way. Yeah, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go home, get some. Actually, hold on. Saying that, we got a little tube. We've got a tube straight here. It takes us all the way home to the house. It'd be nice if there was a boat here, which there may not be. How are you? Pixel King. How are you, Red Nothing? And how are you, Sadie Olivier? There's not a boat, but we can just run it. How are you? How are you, by the way? That's ironic. I just said that. I'm really good. How are you? I will admit, guys, I had KFC for dinner, so I'm going to be quite burpy on this stream because I had KFC for dinner. So just thought I'd mention it because Decepted had a go at me yesterday on Discord for burping. Which he didn't actually have a go at me, but they could hear me farting. Which is, you know, kind of funny. Right, let's quickly go this way then. I'm actually streaming this, guys, by being sat on the floor. Where my bed should be. Because I broke the bed by being a fat ass. I want to say, guys, I slept on that bed for nearly 3 weeks. For nearly 3 weeks afterwards. Despite the fact that it was on an angle on the one, it was crushed on the one side. RIP 2017. I got the bed in 2022. I got the bed in 2022. So I've only had it 3 years, but I have broke 2 beds, guys. Is that bad? I broke two beds due to my weight. Well, the first one, guys, honestly, the first one. Oh, it's been a while since I joined a stream. I don't think it's been a while, Glue Beans. I think it's been a while since I streamed. That might be more of the case. I haven't streamed since Saturday because I've been just busy doing some other stuff. I bought the Minecraft movie on 4K, everybody. I've got to say, I found it I found it funnier in watching it on DVD, but I still don't think it's a good film. It's a funnish film, but I don't think it's a good film. I bought the Minecraft movie on DVD, so I watched it a second time, and I will say, I think it's a fun film to watch. It's just not a good film. Why did you buy it? Because I wanted to watch it again, and I don't like on demand. I prefer to buy things on DVD. I don't mind buying something. I don't like on demand. On streaming sites. It's not worth it. I mean, it's not a good film, but I have seen worse films though. I have seen worse films. There's honestly, Red Muffin, there is worse films that you can watch. Warcraft is an example. Warcraft is a film about World of Warcraft that came out in 2016. That is generally one of the worst films I've ever watched. I wouldn't say it was made for 5-year-olds. It was made for a family environment, but the problem is they didn't. It's not that the film's bad. The problem is the storyline doesn't make sense. It's too jumpy. The storyline's too. The problem with the Minecraft movie is the storyline's too all over the place. It should be, whereas it focuses on. It focuses on Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and Sebastian, whatever his name is. And then Daniel Brooks and Emma Myers. You absolutely don't know anything about what they've done. Like about the mushroom house. Like you want to see them build the mushroom house. You don't see anybody build anything. But I've never watched Squid Game. I've never watched Squid Game. In fact, aren't you like 13, Red Muffin? Yeah, you shouldn't be watching Squid Game. You shouldn't be watching Squid Game at 13. Squid Game is aimed at Squid Game, like you just said, Minecraft. Sorry guys, there's a bit of hair in my throat. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I'm back. Hello, Skate. Put my own room. I don't care though. Yeah, but you said how the Minecraft movie was aimed at a 5-year-old. Yeah, Squid Game is not aimed at your age range. That's why the films are so violent. It's aimed at 15, 16-year-olds. I'm gonna choke again. Hello, Skate. Welcome to the stream. How are you, by the way? That's better. Sorry, a bit of hair got caught in my throat. Yeah. But there is a reason there is a reason those age ranges thing. But I never watched Squid Game. But the problem with South Korean Japanese stuff is they make it so violent. Japanese South Korean films are really violent. Squid Game in the UK. Are you okay, Joe? You're coughing a lot. It's a bit of hair. I think I've got a strand of hair has fallen in my mouth. Why do Japanese? It's East Asian films and TV series are so violent. That's why Squid Game's 15 in the UK and America, because Squid Game and that was so violent, which I don't get ultra violent stuff. Yeah, never watched Squid Game because I never wanted to. But also the guy didn't want to do it. The reason I wouldn't want to watch it, Red Method, is not that it's bad, but the guy that wrote Squid Game didn't want to do it. The guy that wrote Squid Game didn't want to do season 2 or 3, but he was forced into it. Yeah, but Squid Game. But that's the thing. That's actually how it happens, Red Muffin. That's not a thing exclusively for Squid Game. They always do that. If a film does well, if a South Korean Japanese film does well, it's then made in an American version. That they've always done that. They've been doing that for years, and it does happen the other way as well. I take it you would have heard of right. Who here has heard of Forrest Gump? The film Forrest Gump. I just need to quickly have a sip of water a minute, guys. You skatepunk? Okay, yeah. Have you heard of it, Red Method? Have you heard of Forrest Gump? It's a American film. Never heard of it. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it, because it's one of the most popular films of all time, and obviously it did really well at the Oscars. But Forrest Gump a few years ago. Forrest Gump came out in 1993. An Indian man ripped it off with a film a few years ago for Bollywood, but all those Indian people watching Bollywood had no idea that it was actually ripped off from an American film. All the film companies do it. They rip off films from other languages because someone from that culture isn't going to understand that it's a ripped off film from something else. So Squid Game USA, not many people in the USA are going to go, oh, this is ripped off from Squid Game South Korea, because before the internet, films got ripped off all the time. There's a vampire film. Who did it star? I'm going to put Vampire Matt Reeves, because I know Matt Reeves directed it. Let Me In, that's the one. The 2010 film Let Me In, who did it star? Let Me In 2010, here we go. Let Me In 2010, starring Cody Schmidt-McPhee, Chloe Grace Moretz, Richard Jenkins. 2010 film. Some of you might have heard of Let Me In. It was a film in 2010. Hello, Apple Pie. Welcome to the stream. Some of you might have heard of Let Me In. It was a film American film in 2010. Let Me In is ripped off. Is a remake of a Swedish film of the same name from 2008. And basically the guy that directed Let Me In Sweden, the Swedish film, was invited to direct the American version, but he refused to. He didn't want anything to do with it, so they hired Matt Reeves. But yeah, all the films do it, so it's just a thing tied to Squid Game. It's all the shows do it. There's a show in the UK called Hunted, where basically 8 normal people go on the run, and whoever wins like 100 grand or something like that. It's one of my favourite shows, and they go on the run, and people try and hunt them down. Whoever gets to the extraction point wins 100 grand. But that got ripped off, and basically an American version was created. Then let me think of another one. Let me think of another example. The UK did a show called The Traitors. Now there's The Traitors USA, The Traitors Australia, Denmark. So yeah, all the TV shows do it. Honestly, all the TV shows. If a show takes off in one country, basically other countries go and remake it. Little Britain took off in the UK, and then they made Little Britain USA, but it was done by exactly the same writers. And sometimes it fucks up though. Sometimes it fucks up, guys. So, who here has heard of Dad's Army, the British comedy show? It might be, but I don't really like watching things in dubbed. I don't really like watching things in dub sometimes, but I prefer watching British shows because I love watching British shows, but then I hate watching things in dub sometimes. But not that there's an issue with it. The reason I don't want to watch it though is the reason I don't want to watch Squid Game season 2 or 3 or anything like that is because the writer was forced to do it. The writer was forced to do it. So that's where you know, Netflix and things like that are terrible. Yeah, but then those shows though, but Squid Game, the guy that wrote it didn't even want to do a season 2 or 3. So he was actually even though it could have been emotional, he was forced to do it. The only reason he did is because he was offered a ridiculous amount of money. Jihan saying we're not horses, we're humans. What's this XP thing? Because I'm monetized now, it's now saying who our top commenters are. So, people who've commented the most, pretty much. I don't know, it's a new thing. I've only just found out about it. But the problem with those shows is the guy was forced to do it. He didn't want to do it, and he only did it because they offered him a load of money, which that's abuse. That's what I think anyway. Here, you don't want to do it, but here, have a load of money and just write whatever. Decepted was taught to me by this. Why is everyone calling me uncle? Hello, Kane Edits. Welcome to the stream. But those shows, though, those shows are only good if you put passion into it. And if you're only writing because you've been they've offered you loads of money, you're not really invested in it. Decepted said to me that. Welcome. Thoughts on the Diddy trial? I haven't seen anything about it, to be honest. Hello, young Matt. Welcome to the stream. But Decepted said this to me, guys. If you watch Squid Game Season 1 and Squid Game Season 2, you can see that it's not as cared for. You can see that the creator didn't, the writer didn't, well, the guy that wrote it, because obviously it was his story. You can tell that he didn't care about it as much. Yeah, I don't watch it either, but Kane Edits. But the problem with those shows, as a filmmaker, I don't like the idea of someone being forced to do it and then being forced to do another season. Yeah, those shows, though, the problem with those shows is that they run themselves into the ground, like America did with, what's that really long American show? What's that really long American show that never seems to end? What's that? Which one is it, guys? Walking Dead? Which one is it? Is it The Walking Dead? Yeah, Walking Dead. That's an example. The Walking Dead. They've done what? 15 seasons now. Main show sequels. When are you gonna? When are you gonna go? Like there's enough. You don't need to keep doing. I just answered that. I don't know. I have no idea. It says some top fans at the top. So it says that at the moment, Red Methin's number 1. Hikaru Block's Fruit is number 2. Skate Punk's number 3. Tunic 2614 is 4. Pixar King is 5. And I think I can't even tell you who that is. YamQ12345 is 6. Oh bollocks! I suddenly clicked off the stream. I'll be back in 2 seconds. There we go. But Fear the Walking Dead is an example of where they kept going. I think that's what Netflix will do with Squid Game. I think Netflix will keep doing Squid Game to the point where people are bored of it, which that's the problem with some TV shows, is that they just cash out until it's stupid. It's the same with like Fast and Furious. They've done what, 15 films now? Yeah, but Hikaru Blocks, I wouldn't put that in the stream. I think that's giving people spoilers for stuff. It's not, but then you can't. The problem is, though, if you keep putting things about it, does it spoil it for someone else? That's one thing I hate about America, guys. That's one of the things I hate about America is how big America are for spoiling TV shows. It might though. I'll stop. There's more than yes, but that's America. That is very much America. I don't like that, to be honest. I don't like when people make edits of TV shows. not while it's on air, because it's not fair if it's not fair if you're a little bit behind. So people already know. Yeah, but that's where it's wrong. I was behind on one of my TV shows, and I saw a character had died, and I was like, what? But that's where TV shows are ruined. That's where TV shows are ruined. One of my favorite TV shows. Obviously, I prefer watching just British shows. My favorite TV show. They managed to get away with having the character change his face at the end of the season without anyone knowing. But if that had been like an American show, or if that had been an American show, you know, they would have got away with it. Yeah, your name is very, very sus, and like your namesake, I think you've got a prison sentence coming. I'm joking, but yeah, I just got to quickly plug my mic in. I'm in my laptop charger. Hello, Fatima, welcome to the stream. I've lost my laptop charger, where is it? Bollocks. I can't remember where I've put my laptop charger. Oh no, hold on, it should be here, shouldn't it? I moved it earlier on. Bollocks. We might actually have to end this stream soon, guys, because my laptop's going flat and I lost it. Me Brazilian? Cool. What do you mean example? Is that it? That stuck on something. Yeah, I have put down my laptop charger, guys. So, we're going to struggle for a bit. Because I can't find where I've put it. Yeah. I'm currently in the middle of getting rid of some stuff while I'm putting this new desk up. And I've moved my laptop charger and I cannot find where I've put it. That's because it was fucking behind me. Always me. Right, so just give me a sec, guys. Got to plug this in. And I did choke earlier on, guys, on a bit of hair, but I can say now that it's fine because all I needed was a bit of cold water, which is splendid. Everyone say fuck Decepted. But talking about TV shows though, I hate when they're spoiled. I think with TV shows there should be like a 5-day spoiler gag where you can't spoil it, because like some shows for example they're spoiled within an hour. I love it when people talk about episodes afterwards, but one of the worst ones I've ever seen. One of the worst ones I've ever seen was that is true. Have I built my desk, Decepted? No, I had to break the bed, and that took ages because I had to get all these boxes of items that would normally be under the bed out, and I had to put them in my sister's room. But the problem is, Decepted, my sister's room was messy, so we had to clean that before we could put the boxes down. So it's not built yet, but at the moment I can't be bothered to do any more. Is the desk built? Not yet. I need to finish. I need to finish it. But hello, I can't even remember what your name is. Sorry, because Decepted's just absolutely spamming the shit out of the chat. I did say I did say I did tell you all I did tell you all just now to put fuck Decepted. Do you need any other mod? I don't need a mod. Decepted's doing this just for a joke. Hello, Omnivale. Welcome to the stream. Right. Let's think of something to do, eh? Yeah, but then I don't give mod out all the time. We don't need that many mods. You know, we've only got 6 people watching. Hello, Trustfulness Trust. Welcome to the stream. No, I have read his name. It's Hikaru Blockstreet, but he's changed it to P. Diddy. I don't think he actually knows who P. Diddy is, but I'm not blind. He's changed his name in between the last stream and this one. I don't think he actually knows who P. Diddy is, and he's a despicable, and I don't think he really knows who he is. Well, Hikaru Blockstreet has changed his name to P. Diddy, but I don't think he knows who P. Diddy is. I think if he did know who P. Diddy is, I think he'd change it straight away. The hell? I've accidentally clicked emotes and now no, I don't think he's old enough to be Deceptive's dad, because Deceptive's like 65. He isn't. He's not 65. I'm expecting Deceptive to turn up and say, I am not 65. I said 65, not 35. Oh, there we go. That's better. I've had to drink quite a bit because I had a really sore throat. There we go. So, Joe, get a job. Joe, get a job. I'm trying to get a job, but apparently there's no jobs going. There's no jobs going in the UK right now. Apparently, I'm getting in. Is Deceptive my dad? I'm older than Deceptive is. How to avoid a copyright strike? Deceptive's older than I am. No, I'm older than Deceptive is. How's Deceptive my dad? Yeah. How old is Deceptive? He's... Yeah, get a job. I can't... There's no one going at the moment. Every job at the moment in the UK seems to go to someone that doesn't deserve it. E.g. Deceptive. I'm joking. Deceptive does deserve a job. No, what I mean is that right now, when I looked at a few jobs, they want 4 years of industry experience. Everything wants industry experience. 4 years of industry experience. How are you going to get experience if they're not going to take a chance on you? If they don't... How old is Deceptive? Deceptive is currently 22. Get an apprenticeship. Nah, I've already learned. I don't need to go back to college. I've already got a degree. They should just hire me with that. But how is that doxing you? I said you're 22. that's my publishing name, Decepted. Could be worse, Decepted. I'll be 23 in bloody 6 months. Could be worse, Decepted. I'll be 23 in 5 months. I mean 5 months, we're in July. Well, that's pretty obvious, Hikaru Blocks Fruit. That's pretty obvious because it's literally on the book. It's literally on my book. It's literally on my book in the top corner of the screen. Hey Joe, I have a question. What is your question? I will be glad to answer it. Oh, pardon me, guys. Sorry. I know why you're... Yeah, why is that then? In the last 5 years, what has your favourite age been? I'm a bit confused by what you mean, to be honest. Could you break that down a bit? Well, I mean, elaborate further. Oh, bloody hell, we nearly went down the mountain. Oh, we... Have I ever watched... Yes, I've watched Godzilla. I've watched the original Godzilla. I've watched Godzilla... I've watched the 2014 Godzilla. Oh, okay. Ooh. 2020... I'm going to say it in stages. 2020 to 2022 was really good. I was mentally... I felt amazing. 2023 to 2024 was tough. 2023 to 2024 was incredibly tough. And I'm going to say the best year has been 2025. The best year I think has been this year. But 20 to 22 was good. 23 to 24 was tough. Because I lost my nan halfway through it, and that was sort of like a shock. And then I got back into college. Well, I would actually argue that Justin Bieber was more 2010. It was more that era. Honestly, I don't even know where Justin Bieber. I wouldn't even know if he was still alive. I wouldn't argue that he's been famous in the last 5 years. I'd argue that he's pretty much... Yeah, I'm going to argue it's pretty much his career is pretty much fizzled out. Problem with him though is I think he let the fame get to his head. The problem was he took off when he was 13. Yeah, and then I think he let the fame and money get to his head. I think. Yeah. But with him though, I think the fame got to his head, and you can say that like. Joe, am I a gunner? No. No, I'm an Everton fan. But yeah, I mean, it's not that he doesn't do good songs, but I think with him, he let the money get to his head and all the fame. Which does happen to certain people. Play some nostalgic songs. I can't play nostalgic songs or I'm going to get copyright claimed. You can't just play random music on a stream, Hikaru Blocks Fruit. Some people do, but you can't. Is 2020 nostalgic? Well, to me it's not nostalgic because, you know, I'm like it feels like 2 years ago. Honestly, well, honestly it feels like just 2 years ago. No, let alone 5. Yeah, it's crazy. It was 5 years ago. Honestly, well, I was a little bit shorter than I am now back in 2020, but I was a lot lighter. I have to admit, guys, I was a lot lighter during that era. I was a lot lighter in weight then. I wouldn't say since 2020. As you get older, as it gets older, you're doing more. As you get older, yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know that, Hikaru Block Street. You really don't want to know that. Yeah, I wouldn't search it. It's basically where you arouse yourself, but you don't ejaculate. That's basically what it means. Yeah, it is. It's just random. It's not something you want to Google on the stream. Originally, when Red Muffin brought that up initially, I thought they were talking about what you would call an Arsenal fan, because Arsenal's nickname is called the Gunner. It's called the Gunner. So because their thing is a cannon, because their emblem is a cannon. So I thought you said Gunner initially. But no, if we're going back onto 2020, yeah, 2020. To me, as you get older, it feels like time feels faster, but it's because, you know, you're doing more. Oh. But it feels weird though, because obviously back in 2020 I only weighed like 60 kg. And then I look back and go, I'm 38 kg heavier than that now. So I'm like, what would you choose, 2026 or 2020? Well, 2020, a lot of people died. A lot of people died in 2020 because of COVID, but also I was shorter then. I wouldn't want to go back to 2020 because I was shorter. Although I was skinnier, I was a lot skinnier then, but I say I was a lot skinnier then. I was a lot shorter then back in 2020. So I'm gonna say I'd rather see what 2026 brings than go back to 2020. Because do a cooking stream. I can't cook, I'm afraid. I'm terrible at cooking. Do you like mangoes? I do not, to be honest. Do you guys like the circus tent, by the way? Do you guys like the circus tent so far? It's basically finished. We just need to... It's basically finished. It's structurally... This circus tent is structurally complete on the outside. How old was I in 2020? In fact, how old was everyone in 2020? In 2020, I've got to admit, guys, in 2020, I would have been 17. No, I wouldn't have been. I was 18. I would have been 18. I would have been 18 nearly. Yeah, I would have been 18 in 2020. In 2020, I was 22, turning 23. Yeah, I'd have been 17, turning 18. Looking back though, yeah, 2020 though was just an odd time period. 2020 was just an odd time period. Yeah, 2020 was just an odd time period. Well, if they were 5 years ago, they're 13. But I was so much healthier in 2020. Honestly, guys, I was so much healthier in 2020. Going into COVID, before COVID, I was 5'7". Before COVID, I was 5'7" and 63 kg, which I'd argue is, well, normal. I'd argue it's normal. I came out of COVID so much heavier. Do I get money by YouTube? I do now, but only if people donate via stream. I have Super Chat available now, but I'm not I don't have full monetization though. I only have that, and I can get channel memberships now as well, but I haven't got intentions of setting all that up yet. But I don't get any like ad revenue or anything like that, because ad revenue you've got to do it 4,000 hours, which I am literally 500. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, Red Methin. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'll see you in the next one. But yeah, honestly, no, I don't get ad revenue yet from streams because I'm only 500 hours off that at the moment. Honestly, now that because I said that, guys, as well. You want to buy a PC? Cool. Because I said that, guys, about 2020. Yeah, 2020 I would have been 5'7". In 2020 I would have been 5'7" and 63 kg. Look at me now, guys. I mean, look at me now, guys. Back then I was... Oh, you haven't been streaming? No, I haven't. I haven't been able to because I've been a little busy trying to do some other stuff. I've been trying to write a book, guys, but also I've been trying to build my new desk, which has been futile because I had to break the bed up to try and get the desk in, to try and build the desk. But we're streaming at the moment because I can't build the desk till tomorrow because I can't do anything else at the moment. I've got to try and break the bedpost up, and I can't get the bedpost out, which is stupid. But, you know, it's one of those. Yeah, going back onto 2020. Going back onto 2020 a minute, guys, when that was brought up. Yeah, 2020, I was 5'7", I was 63 kg. Look at me now, 5'9", 5 years later, 5'9", 98 kg. I mean, get a job at McDonald's. I think with a degree, I think that job's beneath me. Not that it is beneath me, of course. No job's beneath any other job, but I think that I'm too qualified for a job at McDonald's. I want a job in film because that's what I've studied in. That's I want a job in film. It's a bit pointless doing a degree. It's a bit pointless doing a Bachelor of Science degree in film to get a job at McDonald's. I've seen people do that, but I think it's a bit stupid. Was 2020 a good year? Do you not remember 2020? I think you can work out for yourself whether it was a good year. I mean, you're what, 15, Mia? So I think you would remember how. I think you could decide for yourself how whether 2020 was a good or bad year. Well, yeah, it's not 2020 was not a good year for anyone. Yeah, I don't feel nostalgic, to be honest, because it's not nostalgic for me because I'm like, that was when I was 18. I'm like, that's when I was 18, that's only 5 years ago. But I wouldn't say it's nostalgic because for me 2020 feels like 2 months ago. Even though it was 5 years ago. I wish 2020 is where my weight. 2020 is where I just gain weight. I went from being 5'7" at 18 to 60 to 63 kg to being 5'9" and 98 kg. So I gained a lot of weight. I wouldn't say that for 2019, to be honest. I wouldn't say that about 2019 because I hated 2019. Hello, Mababin Badrami. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I wouldn't say 2019 was great because I hated 2019. I hated 2019 for a couple of reasons. I hated 2019 because of it was my final year at school, so I had my GCSEs, my GCSE exams, which that's what we do in the UK. We have to study it very hard. 2016 was very nostalgic. You can't say it's not. I mean, I remember 2016, guys. I mean, I'm old enough to remember 2016. I'm old enough to remember 2008. In fact, I'm old enough to remember parts of 2007. I can remember buying my first video game with my own money, and that was Christmas 2007. Oh, it was Christmas. I remember 2007 when Spider-Man 3 came out. Oh, the Sam Raimi ones. Didn't they want to do a fourth one and they scrapped it? I wouldn't have watched Spider-Man 3. I know I watched the first two, but I think I gave up. But I think I watched them years later because the first one came out when I was before the year I was born. It's like Harry Potter. The Harry Potter films. The first Harry Potter film is older than me. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone came out the year before I was born. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets came out the year I was born, and then films 3 to 8 were all after I was born. But you're still an ant. I'm not that old. I mean, you guys in the stream are only, well, some of you are only like 7 or 8 years younger than me. I don't know Skate Punk, but everyone's been calling me Papa or Uncle in the recent streams, which I find it weird. I find it weird. Everyone keeps calling me Uncle or Papa. I'm like, what? I'm not. What? I am old. I'm not old. Well, I am old enough actually to be a Papa, but my friend in my college course from a few years ago is now a dad to 2 twins. Not like Andrew Garfield and Tom Swineman edit with Ferredo with video and voice. Although Andrew Garfield only watched a little bit of his Spider-Man film, but I've got to admit he's good in other films. Famously though, one of his first major roles was in Doctor Who. One of his first major roles was in Doctor Who. He was in an episode of Doctor Who in 2006, 7. Let's find it. Daleks in Manhattan. When did that episode come out? Daleks in Manhattan. 21st of April 2007. Daleks in Manhattan. Andrew Garfield played Frank. So that's one of his first TV roles, I think. Well, it was. Yeah, it was actually. It was only his. 1, 2, 3. It was only his 4th TV role at the time. Because he played Frank in Doctor Who in Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks. Yeah. Is it gone? Is it? What happened to World War 3? There is no World War 3. That was just there is no World War 3. That was just Concordastic Aviator reading a false news report off YouTube. But I told him you shouldn't get your news off YouTube because you don't know whether that's legit. Because YouTube is not, as I said, YouTube's not a search engine. YouTube is not a place where you find information because you don't know if that information is real. I could tell you right now that I have. I could tell you right now that I've got green skin and gills, and some of you might believe me. That's but that's generally true about YouTube, guys. Is that you don't know. Can I just thank you guys for how well we did last month? But yeah, Andrew Garfield, when he was breaking out into his career. His first film was literally 2007. So, one of his first things he starred in was Doctor Who. Please watch the edits, Joe. I got my news on TikTok. That's still not a good place to get it though, because you don't know whether that's real. You only know if it's real if it's from a genuine news site, but some of those news sites are fake. Some of those news sites fabricate evidence, which that happened recently with the general election last year. A guy went into one of the political parties in the UK. A guy went in there as a fake reporter and shot undercover footage, and then stitched it together to make it look like this party was full of people. Yeah, but TikTok is not a good place to get information off. Because you don't know, like YouTube, you don't know whether that information's real. I could turn around right now and say that, I could turn around and say I'm 6 foot. I could turn around and say that I'm 7'4". Some of you guys might believe me. Some of you guys on this stream might believe me and believe Calamity Joe is 7'4". It's very much you shouldn't take your information off YouTube because you don't know if it's real. Anything special for 7,000 subs? Not at the moment, because I haven't planned that far ahead. We will do a 6,000 subscriber celebration soon, but I'm a little bit busy with writing a novel. I'm writing a horror novel for an assignment. I'm writing a horror novel for a competition, and build a statue of my own skin. Would you guys like to hear the darkest thing I've ever written in my life? Would you guys like to hear the darkest horror story I've ever written in my life? Probably the darkest horror story you will ever read in your life. Yeah, okay. We've got one yet, of course, so we'll wait for a couple more. I wrote the... Why not? Yeah. Hello, Destroyer Jim. Welcome to the stream. So halfway through this book, the character asks this guy, "Where's your mother?" And they find the body of this person's mother with no feet on it and no hands. When asking where the hands are, where hands and feet are, he says, "Oh, one hand is in a bin in Leicester. One hand's in a bin. One foot was placed in a bin outside a school in Scotland. The other foot was put in a bin in Newcastle, and the two hands were put in bins in a Bournemouth and Leicester." He destroyed the body. He got rid of the body up and down the country. Hello, Destroyer Jim Will. I do remember you. Yes, of course. Sorry, everybody, but yep. I was explaining this horror story that I'm writing for an assignment. So this character admits to basically killing his mother and cutting her up, and I can't say the word. Disposing her body by, you know, sticking bits in bins all across the UK. He also admits to playing basketball with someone's head. What do you think, guys? Is that the most shocking horror story that you've ever seen? Yeah, but that's not what P. Diddy did. P. Diddy just did sex parties. In fact, what was his trial? Oh, he's been found guilty. He's been found guilty on 2 accounts, but cleared of most serious charges. But he's not been sentenced yet. So it could be... Shut your windows and doors, lock it. What? Yeah, but he's not been sentenced yet, so, you know, he could be sentenced to 20 years in prison. Is it that was making the noise? I could hear some sparking. You can run, but you cannot hide. That's disgusting, Hikaru Blockstreet. And Hikaru Blockstreet, that's disgusting. Yeah, Hikaru Blockstreet, that is disgusting, and that is actually a bannable offence. That's a disgusting comment to put. And in fact, it's very creepy. I understand you're sorry, but that's very creepy. But just, that's not a prank. You could go to prison for that. That's not a prank that you should do. Why is your friend suing someone? Just out of curiosity. Is it for like something really serious, or? Is that Dark Oak Woods? Ooh, cool. Destroy Jim Woo, please tell us that it's not something really stupid, that they're not suing them for something really stupid. Because you often see that nowadays. I've seen people do that before, generally sue people for something stupid. Oh yeah, that's something you sue for. Sorry, they're suing them, not calling the police. Trespass. Why are they suing him? Why are they suing him, not going to the police? Well, he's a minor, so it's a big deal. But yeah, you can still go to the police. Yeah, you can still go to the police, even if they're a kid. You can still go to the police. Did he already filed a report? Yeah. In the UK, you can go to prison as young as 10 years old. In the UK, the criminal age is 10. So if you're 10 years and over, you can go to prison. Well, juvenile prison. I don't know, what can we do here? I don't know, I just feel like wanting to put a pond. I feel like I'm going to put a pond here. Whoops, bit too much dirt here. It's that under there. Just a random hole. Yeah. I'm so sad life keeps kicking my butt. Is there a reason why it's kicking your butt though? What do you mean by it's kicking your butt? Is it everything not going right, wrong? Is things going right, wrong? Yeah, I caught COVID last year, and ever since then my health has been a mess, and I've also lost my dog last year. I also don't have much money because of unfortunate events that have happened in my life. Yeah. Do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know a really shocking story? I mean, I don't have money at the moment, and it's because I can't seem to find a job at the moment, to be honest. Do you guys want to know a story? 2 days before my granddad died, my stepnan changed the will, so my dad got nothing. Nothing at all. That's honest, guys. Literally 2 days before my granddad died, my granddad's second wife changed the will to make sure and made sure that my dad didn't get anything. And do you know what the more shocking bit is? Do you guys want to know a more shocking and devious and evil bit about that? What? He was high on morphine, so there's no way that he could have known what he was signing. So she did it because she knew that he wouldn't know what he was signing. So he basically signed his own children out of the will. Yep. He basically signed it because he was high on morphine, didn't know any better. And yeah, he was high on morphine because obviously, you know, really seriously with cancer, everybody. And yeah, my dad got absolutely nothing. And the more shocking bit about that is the fact that he was high on morphine, so she did it to intentionally make sure that his children got nothing. Absolutely nothing. He didn't just get nothing. My aunt, my uncle got nothing. No, it's alright. But, like I said, life, the thing with life, though, it's not that it's smooth sailing. Life is not smooth sailing. You have good times, you have bad times. You have good times, you have bad times, it's like a river. There's always a bend. Life is like, so you're never gonna it's never gonna be smooth sailing. There's always gonna be something along the lines of it's always like a river. Life is like a river. It chops, it changes, and sometimes you need navigation. But that's the thing. Life is still a beautiful gift. No matter what you do with it, every life is precious. Except if you're a serial killer or something like that. But yeah, life is never going to go smoothly. Everyone that says they've had a smooth life is lying. Sorry, Joe. No, it's alright. The only thing about that is, all the financial trouble my parents had in that time period, that could have fixed it all. But, you know, well, I lied, guys. I lied. They did get something. Out of 40 grand, he got 5. So that's still an extra 35 grand that, you know, could have helped. But that's what happens. Life will sometimes give you the short end of the stick. But the only way you can, there's only 3 things in life, guys: loyalty, respect, hard work. I've met so many people in my life that's their thing is that they don't care. I took drama as a GCSE when I was in school, everybody. So I studied drama exam level. Yeah, I studied. No, it's all right. I studied drama, and I studied drama at exam level. All the kids in there didn't care. They were just there because they thought it was an easy way to a grade. Struggle? Well, I wouldn't know. Well, no, I would know. But, you know, bollocks, I just threw off. But yeah, you know, that's just an example of, you know, life. It's an example of. Yeah, I said it's an example. I used it as an example of life is not smooth sailing. Things will come up. Here's an example of me. When I was in school, the exam the exam timetable, the exams came out, and you have to pick. There's compulsory ones. UK exams at GCSE level, there's compulsory ones, so you have to take English, maths, English, maths, science, and RE were compulsory. You had to do them. English, RE, and maths were absolutely compulsory. You had to do them. Whereas they were compulsory. You absolutely had to do them. Whereas, like history, geography, and stuff like that were not compulsory. So you had to pick the extra ones that you wanted. So you could only pick like 3 or something like that. So I picked history, design, and drama. Because they were all in different brackets. One girl, honestly, this is how bad it is. It didn't fit one girl's plans, and because her mother was high up in the exam in the parents board, they changed it to pander to her, and it resulted in they changed it all and fucked me over entirely. Luckily, the headmaster pulled a favour and switched it for me a bit. But yeah, honestly, they changed it so I. Did you just fart? No, I didn't. But yeah, this one girl, because her parents had sway on the board, changed it all. Hello, Yumago. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Red Lord. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. But yeah, talking about that, guys. That's what I mean by that. Yeah, you know, life's not plain sailing. So I had my exams in school fucked up by a girl who just it didn't fit her plans, so she fucked up all of ours. Yeah, your name is weird. Everybody wants to rule the world. That's good though. That shows that you've got your head in the right place, to be honest. That shows you got your head in your right. That shows you got your head in the right place, which, you know, not many people do nowadays. Sorry. What song? But that song you sang is good, but there's a problem with it. What song? Everyone wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to rule the world. That song. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is nowadays, young children don't care. Yeah, but then I listen to proper music because I'm in my 20s. What young kids watch now, I have no idea. Like, why are they watching? They're literally watching Cancer. Hello, Swiss Rex. Welcome to the stream. Back in a sec, just gonna close the door. I'm back. Sorry, I had to close the door. There we go. Okay, there we go. Joe is awesome. Why does Uncle Joe, did he have a crown? Yeah, it's this new feature I think YouTube's added. It says top fans. I think it's people who've commented the most. So at the moment, you're classed as number 6. So basically, Deceptive's class number 4. So Red Muffin, Hikaru Blocks Fruit, and Skate Punk are classed as 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And then we've got FNO Brew FC, who's 5th. You're 6th. Tunic is 7th. Pixel King is 8th. And then we've got somebody else, Trust or Mistrust, I think is right at the bottom at 13th. Nightbot has the best name. How are you, Swiss Rex? Welcome to the stream. Sorry guys, I've been breaking my bed up today, so I had to try and to actually close the door. I had to move a post. I had to move a post, which this post has screws on it. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking me. I'm trying to build a new desk at the moment, everybody, but I'm trying to clear this room out so I can build the new desk, because the the problem is my bed was a double bed, so the bed post was sick. The bed post was 140 centimeters wide. The bed was 140 centimeters wide. The bed was like 140 centimeters wide. The bed was 140 centimeters wide and 195 long, so luckily guys, the bed was 20 centimeters longer than I was. You bought a bed? No, I haven't yet. I haven't brought a new bed yet. So I've just slept on the bed. I've just slept on the bed because it was a double bed, you know, I'm not that fat. I'm not that fat, so basically I occupied just one side of the bed. I just occupied the side of the bed that was slept right. As I said, I'm not that big, and I'm not that heavy. I may be heavy. I probably am the heaviest person in this. I probably am the heaviest person in this stream. I probably am one of the shortest people in this stream, but I am probably the heaviest. So, but I'm not that heavy. Nah? What do you mean nah? Joe is from Nova Scotia, Scotland. I am not from Nova Scotia. Do you know what they call... Cap? What do you mean cap? Am I heavy at 58 kg? No, that's normal. That's normal, Skate Punk. 58 kg, that's normal. I'd argue that's healthy. I'd argue that's really healthy. That's not heavy. He from UK? Yes, I am from the UK, but Nova Scotia is called that because I am now second. What do you mean cap? What do you mean cap? Hikaru Blocks Fruit. Get a job. I can't get a job. I've looked at jobs, but I can't seem to find one that's anywhere close to where I am. What do you mean cap? Are you talking about me saying that I'm the heaviest person here, or or something? Are you talking about that as cap, or? No, he's saying it to me. Red Muffin's been telling me that the whole stream. Get a job, get a job, get a job. But I can't get a job right now, guys, because apparently they don't. Apparently, I've been looking and I can't see anything. Hello, my little pony. I love welcome to the stream. Like he said, you from Canada. Hello, my little pony. I love welcome to the stream. Let's just put this stuff in here. Actually, where's our... Give me that map back. Hold on. Yeah, the tent's there now. The tent's there. Want to hear her freestyle? I mean, why not? Let's hear her freestyle on the stream. Big lie. What's a big lie? Oh yeah, I know what cat means. I know what cat means. It's also short for capped, which capped means not over a certain thing. So if you cap a price, at something, so let's say we put a cap on football players' wages. Putting a cap on football players' wages means that football players won't be paid above a certain amount. You're drinking tap water, cool. I'm gonna head out now. Goodbye. Have a good rest of your day here, Power Block Stream. Thank you for joining the live stream, and I'll see you in the next one. I can see a floating tree over here, so we might... Let's go and chop it. But we're going to plant some more trees across here. This tree will have a child. This tree will be reborn. We'll just wait now. I know he's... Hello, Ripper. Welcome to the stream. I know he's changed his name for Diddy, but I'm not calling him that. Bloody hell, there's still a huge chunk of ice in my bottle. Perfect. When was the last time you streamed? Saturday. I've been really busy trying to build my new desk. I've been trying to build it since Sunday. I started building it Sunday, but I started having like a thing to do it Monday. My aim was to go and do it Monday. No, I started building my desk Monday. I started building my desk Monday, and my new desk Monday, and I sort of struggled at it, so I decided to go and do a bit more Monday, which it ended up, guys, I had to sleep on the floor Monday night. I think you need a girlfriend. So do you. But that's... I don't get what you're talking about, though. What? No, I think he's saying it to me, but I don't have a clue what he's talking about. No one's seen my freestyle. Unless it hasn't popped up for me. Oh god. Just making this look a little bit nicer. Let's see if we've got any saplings here. Bring me the saplings now. Hasn't dropped any. Give me a sec. Let me just go and see if it's... hold on. Oh no, I've eaten toothpaste and baking soda. No lie, I'm gonna fly to Nova Scotia. It's straight apples. Cool. Cool. Right, I need some supplies. Sorry guys, I just burped. I had KFC for dinner. I mean, it's not too bad, no. Okay, gotta go. Peace out. That's funny. You drop some bars, then exit like a champ. Drop some bars and leave like a champ. Drop some bars and leave like a champ. Oh, we're out of dirt anyway. I was going to make that look a little bit nicer, but you know. We got one sapling. That's nice. Hopefully we can get another one. As it stands, guys, we got 500 views on this stream, but as I said, I haven't streamed for a few days. Oh, hello. I didn't see what that comment says. I want to go to McDonald's, but I'm from Armenia. I could have swore they have it. Did they not have it on Armenia? I could have swore they have it in Armenia. No, Minecraft McDonald's have stated they have no intention of opening restaurants in Armenia. That's why. There's a reason for it. Don't forget my English bad. I know, but then you don't eat McDonald's. I do, which is why I'm fat. Well, Armenia could have got McDonald's in the 1990s, but back then Armenia was classed as being quite a corrupt country. Yeah, McDonald's hasn't opened up in a new country in a decade. They opened up in Azerbaijan and Georgia in 1999, but they refused to do Armenia. You said Armenia is a corrupted country. It was in the 90s. That's why McDonald's didn't open up in Armenia, because Armenia was classed as a corrupt country in the 90s, so they didn't open up there. I'll join this VC in a minute. Decepted. We'll end the stream soon anyway, because no more VC. I'll join the VC in a minute. Decepted. That was chaos last night. That was chaos last night. Fine, I'll join in a minute, Deceptive. Just go grab my headphones. Which I had to repair them after last night, remember, when I turned my camera on and the bloody pad didn't come off. I'll join Deceptive's Discord server, or as we call it. We might as well call it Oreo's Love Hub. Or Oreo and Harry's Love Hub.
Hello.
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 Hello. I know.
Hello.
Yeah, the stream can hear you too.
What is...
No, I'll end it in a minute. You're in the voice channel or not? You're in the voice channel or not? I'm not in my Discord. I'm in Decepted's. And we don't allow people from mine in there because people went in there and caused chaos. Caused a lot of chaos. I got a notif. He was still there when I left, and I left about 11, half 11. Ironically, I was still on my laptop at the time. I was on my phone at the time. I was tempted just to join, say hello, and then leave. That was funny. When you were saying 5'5", I was tempted to make a joke, but then I didn't. That was funny. Him going so so angry over you making jokes about him being 5'5". Which server is that? Is that the one you created to contain Aria? Is there anyone in there now? Or because I left it because I couldn't be bothered with the shit. This server was the container, and basically I was brought in there as just, you know, for her to have a go at me for booting her out of this one, and yeah. But because Mark became owner of it, he took away all my rights, and so I left it. Anyway. Where's the one with her calling me fat ass? In that server, she called me fat ass, despite the fact at the time she was like 2 kg lighter than I was. Once someone asked me, what's your favourite type of shit? I don't know, big shits. I don't know. I was just making a joke about nothing. Anyway, I have no idea. You asked me to make it so we could give Aiden a server because he wanted to get back into this one. So I intentionally made it. We intentionally made that shit one, which he thinks he's in. He thinks he's in the gaming hub one when he's not. Yeah, he probably does, but. He hardly speaks in there as well, and it's just whenever I put something football related. Nah, nope. Of course they are. Hello. I didn't say that. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream anyway. Good night, everybody.